Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever looked at your bank account and thought, where did all my money go? Or maybe you've held on to a losing stock for way too long, hoping it would bounce back. If so, you're not alone. What's fascinating is that it's not just a matter of being bad with money. In fact, some of the most intelligent people I know make some of the most baffling financial decisions. Why is that? It turns out our brilliant brains are hardwired with some quirky biases that can seriously mess with our wallets. Today, we're going to dive deep into 3 of these cognitive culprits: loss aversion, the sunk cost fallacy, and optimism bias. Let's get started. First up, let's talk about loss aversion. This is a big one. Pioneering psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky discovered something fascinating for most AVUs. The pain of losing $100 feels twice as intense as the pleasure of gaining $100. This emotional imbalance makes us overly cautious and can lead to some really poor choices. For example, you might sell a winning stock too early just to lock in a small gain, because you're terrified of it dropping and turning into a loss. On the flip side, you might hold on to a losing investment for dear life, because selling it would mean admitting defeat and making that loss real. The pain of that loss feels so significant that we'd rather gamble on a miraculous recovery, even when all logical signs point to cutting our losses and moving on. It's our brain trying to protect us from pain, but in the world of finance, this instinct can be our own worst enemy. Next on our list of mental traps is the sunk cost fallacy. Oh, this one is a classic. A sunk cost is any money, time, or effort you've already spent that you can't get back. The fallacy is letting those past, unrecoverable costs influence your future decisions. Imagine you've spent $2,000 on a get-rich-quick online course that is clearly not working. Logically, you should stop. But the sunk cost fallacy whispers in your ear, you've already invested so much. You can't quit now, or it will all be for nothing. So you might throw even more money or time at it, digging a deeper hole. This applies to everything from a failing business venture you keep funding to a gym membership you never use but keep paying for because you paid a hefty sign-up fee. The rational move is to evaluate the situation based on its future potential, not on what you've already lost. But emotionally, it feels like giving up. So we stick with a bad decision, hoping to justify our initial investment. It is like trying to win back money at a casino. A strategy that rarely ends well. Finally, let's look at optimism bias. Now, being optimistic is generally a great trait to have. It keeps us motivated and hopeful. But when it comes to money, unchecked optimism can be a recipe for disaster. It's a little voice that tells you, don't worry about saving for retirement now. You'll make a lot more money later. Or, this speculative investment is a sure thing. It's different this time. Optimism bias makes us overestimate the likelihood of positive outcomes and underestimate the risk. We think we're less likely than others to face a job loss, a medical emergency, or a market crash. This can lead to undersaving, taking on too much debt, or making overly risky investments without a proper safety net. We see the potential for a huge reward, and our brain conveniently downplays the very real possibility of a significant loss. A healthy dose of realism is crucial for sound financial planning. It's not about being pessimistic. It's about being prepared. So, how do we outsmart our own brains? The first step is awareness. Simply knowing that these biases exist: loss aversion, the sunk cost fallacy, and optimism biases, a massive advantage. When you're about to make a big money decision, pause and ask yourself, am I holding on to this because it's a good investment? Or because I'm afraid to realize a loss? Or Am I continuing this project because it has future potential or because of how much I've already put in? Creating a system can help. Write down your financial goals and create a clear investment strategy before you start. This written plan acts as your rational guide when emotions run high. Automate your savings and investments so you're not making a conscious decision every month. And finally, consider talking to a trusted, impartial financial advisor. Sometimes, an outside perspective is exactly what we need to see past our own biases. Understanding these psychological traps is the key to unlocking better financial health. It's not about being smarter. It's about being more self-aware. What money biases have you noticed in your own life? Share them in the comments below. I'd love to read your stories. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on mastering your money and your mind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.